Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, but not good night. The intention of this video is to introduce you to the first certificate listening exam and explain briefly what they consist of. As I always do, the best way to deal with it is by a real exam provided in Cambridge's official website. Remember, it's a brief introduction of each one of them. So if you are a beginner and it is the first time, this video is for you. But if you are more advanced, you need the ones that have a deeper reasoning and understanding, including examples and tricks provided in others. Let's begin. Part 1, multiple choice. This part includes 8 short extracts. Each one lasts 30 seconds more or less, and it can be a monologue or a dialogue between two speakers. Each extract is played twice. The first question introduces the theme that is going to be spoken about. In this case, it's telling us that it is a message on a telephone answering machine. And afterwards, the question that we have to look for. Why is the speaker calling? And you have to choose which is correct, A, B, or C. Let's listen to it.
Oh, hi, it's me, John. Sorry to miss you. You must have already left for work. Look, I wondered if you wanted to come away for the weekend. There'll be about 10 of us, including someone called Sam Brent, who says he was at college with you, and he remembers that you were brilliant at rock and roll. They've decided it'll be on October the 9th, Friday night till Sunday. Anyway, I'll put the details in the post. I know you're busy at the moment, so don't feel you have to come, but just let me know one way or the other when you can. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Part 2, sentence completion. Consists of 10 sentences with gaps. You need to fill in the gaps with a word or a short phrase while listening to the audio. The audio is played twice and it is non-stop. I will play the recording that is making reference to exercise 9 and 10.
Thanks for inviting me tonight. As you know, my main interest is in conservation, and I'm lucky enough to work with lots of different organisations looking after animals both in captivity and in the wild. I'd been fascinated by all kinds of bears for a long time before I started working in this field, but it was the spectacled bear that really attracted me. Some people find it appealing because of its size and shape, and it's less well known than other types of bear. But for me, I thought it was such a great name. It comes from the patches of yellowish fur around the bear's eyes, which grow in a sort of circle shape like glasses. Although these golden markings vary greatly from one bear to another and may not be limited to the eyes, they can extend as far as the bear's cheeks or even chest.
Part 3 is called matching or multiple matching. You will listen to 5 short monologues, each around 30 seconds long, and they all have the same subject in common, which is expressed in the introduction. In this case, it's about visiting a city and their experience related to it. And what we have to look for is what they liked most. So we have to match each speaker to the correct option from the list of 8 possible answers. 3 of the options are distractors and will not be used. The audio is played twice.
Speaker 1.
We spent a day exploring the shops and markets in the city and bought some souvenirs. Then we wanted to see some of the area outside the city and discovered it was easy to get to loads of places by train, including the mountains, where we were told there were great hostels. You can do bushwalks out there, and apparently the scenery is stunning. but it can be dangerous. We were warned to have the right gear and tell other people where we were going, so we decided to give it a miss. Anyway, we weren't short of things to do in the city. We were spoilt for choice.
The last one, part 4, is a multiple choice as part 1. It consists of an interview, so there is a person who's making questions and another who is answering them. There are 7 multiple choice questions, each with 3 options, A, B, C. You need to choose the correct one. It is very similar to the first one, but it is, as I told you before, non-stop and played twice. So the recording is about 3 minutes long. I will play the recording of the following exercises. What does Rachel say about her job title, A, B, or C? And what is the most common reason for the gallery not exhibiting an artist's work, A, B, or C?
This evening, in our series Careers with a Difference, our guest is Rachel Reed, who works for a small commercial art gallery. Rachel, welcome.
Hello.
Rachel, what exactly do you do?
Well, there's 2 great things about working for a really small company. Firstly, you get to do a bit of everything. The other is that you can practically invent your job title. Mine is marketing manager, although I do a lot of other things too. It does describe the majority of what I do.
So, tell us about your day.
Well, it all starts with the huge pile of post we get. We often get artists sending in photographs of their work to see if we'd be interested in exhibiting it. I learned very early on how to differentiate between the possibles and those which are unsuitable.
But how do you tell?
It might be the style, or sometimes the subject matter is just not going to look right in our gallery. But more often than not, it's just that they're not of the required standard. The possibles I pass on to the gallery manager, who makes the final decision.
So now that you know each part what they consist of, my advice is to continue to the introduction of each one of them as I provide the steps to follow, the text with the written language of what we have been listening to, the reason why they are incorrect or correct. And once you have all this information, let's continue practicing with 7 more. For example, the next exercise would be this one. I've given you the example with the multiple choice, but we also have the same with sentence completion, matching, part 4 multiple choice, but non-stop. Because, as I always say, is theory important? Of course it is, but practice is essential in order to make all the possible mistakes practicing so we don't make them during the official exam. Bye bye.